guy's been thumping on the house. So I got woken up early. Sirens going off. I really don't know what's going on yet. It looks like the house caught fire or something. Yeah, it looks like we've got a burning house. Oh, it's the little crappy rental. And it looks like the door, oh yeah, they had a fire. It looks like most of the firefighting action happened in the back alley. Wow. So yesterday's fire was in fact a garage fire, and they have removed the entire garage since then. A little bit of scorching on the house. There you go, garage fire. The house. Well, here I go again. Number 3. This time I'm going to test it properly this week. I have 1 year left in this warranty, and I'm going to keep going until they send me one that flippin' works. So I've been using this pickled egg jar to make more pickled eggs. I bought it for $30, and it had 36 eggs in it. This is as deep as my voice goes. If I speak in an affected way, trying to speak in a very low voice, this is what I get. Now, if I try to project that voice, this is what I get. I sound angry. Hello, how are you? I'm having a great day. Yeah, I really need that testosterone. It's late September and autumn has firmly arrived. I am taking advantage of a rare sunny day. Taking advantage of it to get some laundry washed. And this plant has been in the kitchen window, and as you see, it's ailing. So I'm going to plant it in the ground and give it a hope in hell. Yeah, I'm getting ready for winter things today. Plus, I'm going to barbecue a chicken in a little bit.
I love my red wooden shoes. They look nice with the leaves, don't they? That's a plate. That's my dog's new clothes drying up close to the heat from the fire because... Oh, that's blue. The sky's getting a little gray and cold. This is what we're out here for. Yum, yum. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, the snow is glistening. A very cold sight, we're miserable tonight. Looking at a winter wonderland. It's late on a Saturday night. Dan's been plumbing. Oh, look at that. That is the new drain line for the washing machine. The new bathtub drain is in. It still needs the overflow, but he's got all the bits he needs. And he's running the water lines, and they go to these little taps here in the darkness. As you can see, they haven't been hooked up yet, but that's going to allow us to have the washer hooked up all the time. And that's going to be so convenient. And it's still waiting for the plumbing to be done. But while I wait, I am having the bathings here. That's tricky. So that's my dinner. I found some leftover roast chicken, threw that in. I sliced in a tomato, and I sliced in just one pickled egg because of all the chicken. And I got 2 slices of turkey bacon in there for flavor. And there's also some fresh herbs and a bit of powdered garlic and some weird canned pepper that I picked up for the chili and didn't use it all. So I got a feeling it's going to taste really good. I like one pot, one dish meals the best. Let me give you a look at my day. These are containers. These have to be labeled and frozen. The glass has to be canned and then labeled. Have to run it through the pressure canner, but before that the stove has to be cleared. Now I've got the bones. I'm going to dehydrate and powder them. That's an experiment. Some of the broth is boiling in the back, and I'm still trying to get down to the bottom of the pot. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me busy. No kidding. I haven't even had lunch yet. The work drives the schedule. From a 16-liter stock pot down to 2 liters and still shrinking. What I wish I could do is turn it dry into that waxy dried substance that you dry out on parchment. And maybe this time I will. I'm going to have a dehydrator out. Which reminds me, I forgot to turn on the bones. Got to heat those up. Let's turn on the oven. Well, let's turn it down really low. How low can you go? How low can you go? Can you go so low? Oh yeah, 150. 170 is the bottom. Alrighty then. And we'll keep that going. And maybe we'll put that in the oven too. Well, this is excellent. The stock boiled down to where I got tired of waiting. Decided to see how much of it would fit in my jars. This batch of canning is in the canner. And the freezer stuff is labeled and in the freezer. And I can finally sit down and eat my lunch, relax, for half an hour, and then it's time to feed the dog. Because it's already 4:30 in the afternoon. And I even missed coffee break. So I had a cup of broth to drink on the side. I poured the broth into the stir fry and made the most delicious soup I've ever enjoyed. Today, all I really did was put 3 extensions on. These are going to be plugged in here. That's the theory anyway. Each is labeled so I know exactly what it goes to. And I think I need outlets, matching outlets on the circuit box up here in this area for these to go into for when I'm not working off of the inverter. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'm for shore power. Yeah. Or maybe the inverter always works even on shore power, and then how do I get power to it from the shore power? And my brain just goes, Fritz, I don't get it. And I was looking at this box. Every time I pick up this box, these wires confuse the hell out of me. I don't understand what they're for. I don't know what they're supposed to connect to. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them. And then I'm like, you know, how do I get the 12-volt wires in? I can see that there's breakouts back here for the 110-volt wires for these guys. But I think some of them have to be joined before the hitter. Or maybe they all... I don't know. And there's only 2 screws for each... There's only 1 screw for each of these breaker amps. I've got 3 of these that I can use, I think. 4 of them? I don't know. Once again, I'm very confused. Anyway, Dan put these in, so what I did was I screwed through the frame to put this in so it doesn't rattle. And I have to do the same with these. And I put a piece of wood on the back that's, I've got a pegboard that's going to allow me to put things here on the wall. Yeah, I need to get a bunch more of these. And this is down, and I just have to anchor it around the bottoms and fill in the spaces. And down here I need to build a box to hold insulation up against the wheel well and support the freezer. And I have to build another box around the wheel well there to hold insulation and support whatever might go there. I don't know. I don't know. So, I'm no carpenter, I'm no electrician, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying anyway. The blanket curtain, I'm just going to thumbtack it up for now because I don't have enough safety pins. I put some insulation against the wheel hubs on either side. So with the curtain across, at least the bus will not have as much draft coming from the back half. It's about the best I can do for now. It's my intention to eventually close off both ends. For this winter, I may simply use a quilt across this one, but I'd really like to get a wall on one side. I'm not sure. Trying not to pressure myself. Timmy's in the bus with me because the fire is now making it nice and toasty. He's comfortable. I got Camper Van Kevin just finishing up on the Chromecast from the laptop to the TV. There you go. I'm working on that wall, getting it completely covered in so that it becomes so it stops drafts. Right now there's still quite a lot of cold coming through, but it's pretty good. And then here there's no wall yet, so I have hung a very heavy quilt, and it's doing a fabulous job of keeping the cold in. The windows still need to have a layer of plastic put on them. Right now they're still bleeding cold like crazy. Already pretty cold at nights out here, and I'm using an Inkbird and a heater to keep the bus at a comfortable temperature for the plants. Yes. And when I come in here to work, I turn up the heat. I don't know how much more work I'm going to get done today. I've already started a gin and tonic. I might just quit and go inside. But now that I've started a fire, I kind of feel like I have to stay here and be with the fire. I did get a lot more done. I did do a lot more than I got done. Let's just say I did a bunch of things, but I didn't get anything done. I'm going to make some soup today. Celery. And I've got a carrot. Got a bunch of green onions. Got a bunch of tiny potatoes that I won't have to do anything but just wash them and dump them. And then there's a lot of cauliflower and broccoli that I buy for the parrot that doesn't get eaten up before it starts to go. So I'll leave a section of that behind for the parrot, and the rest will go in to the soup. Now the thing with tomatoes, if I take the skin off them, Mister will eat them. How do you peel a tomato? Sure and heck, if you just start pulling on the skin, you're going to pull the tomato apart. What you do is you put that little slice in it so the skin will separate. Then you put it in a heat-proof bowl, something that can take some heat, and then you pour boiling water and you submerge them in boiling water and you wait. Anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes or till you can touch the water. It really doesn't matter. But then when you pick them up, they just slip out of their skin. Friends, this is what inspiration looks like. Don't forget the basil.
Won't you take me to little town? Won't you take me to little town? Won't you take me to little town? I wanna go to little town. Won't you take me? Oh, I don't know the rest of this song.
A tip about herbs in soup. If you're using dried herbs, you really should be thinking about a recipe. It's very easy to put too much dried herbs into the food. For one thing, it's much more compact than fresh. For another, you need to use more than you do with fresh because the resinous oils are gone. And with fresh, you can use a lot more. Even though it has more flavor, you can use a lot more without overwhelming your soup because the fresh stuff is actually food as well. It's nutrition. It's adding vegetables to your soup. And your body will respond to that. And a huge part of flavor is not your taste buds or your olfactory. It's actually your body's response to the food. When the food starts to dissipate through your body and your body starts to taste the vitamins and minerals that are included in it, that's when the satisfaction starts to come up. Your body learns to crave those flavors. A lump of poultry fat, This is the poultry broth. I recently made a great deal of stock, and along with that came some broth. And we're off. Oh, just a little bit of brown, a sort of translucency. They're more yellow than white, and kind of seem to have a bit of translucency to it. So that makes them ready to go in the soup, and they'll just go directly into that soup. I brought out a potato and I gave it a quick tap with a fork, and it's not soft, but neither is it raw. That makes it the perfect time to add the next stage of vegetables. The things that cook fairly fast but do need to be cooked through. The potatoes are soft and the broccoli is not quite mushy. Then I will throw this in, and that'll be a finished soup. It will not need further cooking. The tomatoes are better if they're raw, so I don't cook the tomatoes and herbs. I just dump them in at the end. Oh, this is going to be a stew. The very largest parts of cauliflower and broccoli have just a hint of crisp, but are tender and pleasant to chew on. So you can cut them with your fork or your spoon, but your teeth still have a little bit of work left to do. And that's the state you really want it to be in. That means that it's time to throw in the tomatoes and herbs. And there they go. I'll give those a stir. And then the potato flour. So that's the tomatoes and herbs. Look at all the color in this soup. Eating involves your eyes as much as it does your nose and mouth. We have this potato flour. I'm going to try and stir it rapidly into the center. So I'll shove all of these big chunks up out of the way, and I'm going to try and whisk the flour into the middle to prevent lumping. We don't use wheat flour here, but potato flour does a beautiful job with thickening. There you go. Now I'm getting something thick. Thick and difficult to stir is what we're after. Oh yes. Now that is a nice, rich stew broth. Yes. Look at that. It's more like gravy. That's what I wanted. Hot and ready to eat. Yes.
Frost. This is our first killing frost. We had snow, but it did not come with killing frost. I'm going here to the hospital for a breath test.
I went to the wrong hospital. I do that often. They both start with an S. I'm late for my appointment. And I have a lot more walking to do. I'm not fond of mornings to begin with. I'm feeling disgruntled. Oh, I finally got my breath test today after all this time of waiting. See, years and years ago, I wanted to get my breathing tested. And I did. I went in and got it tested. In fact, the nurse saw that on record. She says, "Oh, looks like you've had it done before." And I says, "Well, I never got my results back." "Oh," she says, "why's that?" "Well," says I, "the doctor who ordered it, the next time I was in his office for something because I thought I had thyroid malfunction. And in fact, that would have been the start of my cancer. Okay? If he had taken my health seriously, instead of looking at it as an obligation he's forced to endure, they might have found out the cancer early. They might have got it early. Just maybe. At any rate, when I went in to tell him thought I had thyroid problems, and he said to me, "Well, why do you think you have thyroid problems?" So I started to list off some of the symptoms. I says, "Well, generalized depression and I'm tired. And he says, "Oh, and how do you know, why is that special?" Like, he wanted to know why I thought that I was tired and depressed versus, just being me. And I says, "Well, normally I'm a very cheerful and energetic person, very optimistic." "Oh." And he says, "And now you feel depressed?" I says, "Yes." He says, "Sounds like manic depression to me." And I was so shocked to be diagnosed with a serious psychiatric condition by a doctor who'd seen me twice, and never spent more than 10 minutes at a time with me. And terrified. I thought, "Oh no, I'm dealing with someone who's decided I'm crazy." And in fact, I think his next words were, "I think you would benefit more from a psychiatrist than from me. I can write you a referral." And this was not what I was there for, and I knew that it wasn't manic depression, and I knew that I had something going wrong with my body. But I wasn't going to get anywhere with this doctor, and I was just shocked, and I fled. I just got up and left, and I never went back to get my results. The aftermath of all that cooking and canning means I've got a whole lot of scrubbing to do. Well, that wasn't too bad. Looks okay. Didn't take too much work. I better come back and wipe it again. Well, this has been upsetting. I've driven literally all around the city trying to find a store to shop out my clothes. And they're beautiful clothes. There's no wear, there's no staining, there's no tears, there's no... I ironed, washed, I ironed things, I pressed things, I made them all beautiful. One store looked through it, and she went, "Oh, well, really nice. You should be selling it at the consignment." So I go to 2 consignment stores, and they both aren't taking clothes at all, like right at the door. I go to the 3rd one. "Oh, we're only taking casual clothes." So I go, "Well, I'll call the next one." She's like, "Well, if you've already been to 4 other stores and they didn't take it, what makes you think I'm going to take it?" She was just so nasty about it. Like, they didn't even look at my clothes, and you want to tell me that they've been judged. And oh. I like the way you make a little oh with your mouth. Ooh. He's so cute. Do you like to sing? Does Timmy like to sing? You sound so mournful when you sing. Yeah, you like that word? Do you like it when I say that word? What's the word you like? Do you like to go for a ride in the car? Do you like to sing? Are you waiting for Dan to come home? Dan? Is Dan coming home? He's been to the store. Dan's been shopping for food. Dan. Do you miss Tom? Oh, you do, don't you? Yeah. We'll have to get him to come over again soon, huh?